Wow, that's really good. Don't forget to try some Heritage's chocolate milk yourself.
Way back in the 20th century, a hard-working, intelligent man named Harold H. Heritage, also known as Grandpop Skeets, owned acres and acres of farmland that him and his brother inherited from his father. For a long time, Grandpop Skeets made a lot of his money by growing fruits and vegetables and selling gravel. Eventually, by the time the Great Depression came to happen, many people were struggling, and Grandpop Skeets realized that he needed to find a smarter way to make money in order to make ends meet. He began by searching all over for different business ideas that would not only help him, but also help create jobs and revitalize the local economy. Finally, after searching long and hard, Grandpop Skeets discovered the dairy business. In the year 1930, with only one cow with a broken leg at his disposal, Grandpop Skeets traveled all over New Jersey selling his milk door to door. Eventually, the amount of quarts per day that were being delivered grew to 100 quarts a day. As the business became more and more successful, Grandpop Skeets acquired more and more cows. With greater production, Grandpop Skeets was able to acquire a milk route. For over 30 years, the Heritages worked as a prominent provider in the dairy business in New Jersey, but come the late 1950s, there was a significant decline in home deliveries. With business on the decline, Grandpop Skeets and his son, Skeets Jr., opened their first store. While doing research in the Northwest, Skeets Jr. came across a convenience store chain in Ohio. He visited the chain, learned the business, and decided to return home and began building the first store, which opened in 1957. An innovator in its field, Heritage's was the first store to sell milk in gallon jugs in New Jersey, as well as the first convenience store in New Jersey. Today, Heritage's Dairy Stores Inc. has 34 locations and employs over 500 people. Way back in the 20th century, a hardworking, intelligent man named Harold H. Heritage, also known as Grandpop Skeets, owned acres and acres of farmland that him and his brother inherited from their father. For a long time, Grandpop Skeets made a lot of his money by growing fruits and vegetables and selling gravel. Eventually, by the time the Great Depression came to happen, many people were struggling, and Grandpop Skeets realized that he needed to find a smarter way to make money in order to make ends meet. Patricia Lynn Heritage is the vice president of Heritage's Dairy Stores Inc. Meeting with Mrs. Heritage gave us an inside look at what it means to be a part of the company. From her open-door policy that allows any member of the company to come see her at any time, to her humble beginnings as a cashier for the Heritages on Main Street near Rowan University, it is clear that Mrs. Heritage loves what she does.
At Heritage's in Glassboro, Main Street, right where your college is. Mm-hmm. It was a block down the street from where I grew up, from my home, and it was just a part-time job. And back then, in '76, it was extremely hard to get a job. There was more people than jobs, so you went place to place trying to find a job, begging to be hired. And I came into Heritage's every day. I would come in and say, "Remember, I would really like to have the job." Finally, I got hired, and I worked there just part time. And the whole idea behind working there is I had just graduated, was just to work a part time job, and then I was starting to go to Glassboro State in September. And as I worked through college, it would just be a part-time job. Well, it ended up not being a part-time job. It ended up being my career.
How many locations in total do you own?
We have 34 stores.
Wow, 34.
All are owned except for 3 that we rent. Our National Park store, our Cape May Courthouse store, and, it's 4. Our Vineland store and National Park store. Those 4 stores we actually rent. 2 of the stores, the reason we rent them is because we've partnered with Riggins Fuel, and they have a gas station, and they run the gas station part of it, and we run the store, the convenience store, with them, and we rent that building from them.
This perception quickly changed as she worked her way up the ranks to manager, then to supervisor, and eventually vice president of the entire company.
Our business started by delivering milk to homes. Okay, that's what he did. He bought 1 cow. And on the way home, bringing it home, it fell and broke its leg. So we had started with 1 cow with a broken leg. And he started by milking that cow, and then he would start delivering to his friends and his neighbors. It was in the Great Depression, and this was a way to make money to feed his family. This was my grandfather. We called him Pop-Pop, Grandpop. So anyway, Grandpop started doing this, and then then they started pasteurizing and homogenizing milk over there in the plant, and then eventually what happened was the home delivery business started to deteriorate, and they looked for a different outlet to sell their milk, and that's when we opened our first store. We decided to go with the stores, the convenience store. So we started it to sell milk, but then we sold everything else so much more that we just kept adding. For the most important part of our business, we believe all people are equal. That's really important. Everybody's equal. It doesn't matter what job you have in our company, everybody's equal. So I may be the vice president, but I'm equal to that person on the front. I should take this off. I'm equal to that person that stands at the front register and will make a sub for you, because we're the same. We have different job titles, but we're equal, because they wouldn't have a job if I wasn't creating this company, but I wouldn't have a job if they weren't doing the front line and doing the work that they do. So we believe people are in this company are equal, are treated equally.
So how long have you worked for Heritage's?
It was 39 years in June. After 39 years, I'm still here. No, it's a wonderful company to work for. Nice family company, wonderful people. They really are.
This is Uncle Wendy. He was my father-in-law's brother, who helped really run the dairy. The big thing about us is we are a family business, and where a lot of people don't promote like dating people in your company or your coworkers. You'll hear that.
Yeah.
We don't. We absolutely don't have a problem with that. And the funny part is like, well, that's where I met my husband, obviously here. But we have a manager and a supervisor who are married. We have somebody that was a supervisor and is in the service department that are married. We have somebody that runs our office, and her husband's a truck driver at wholesale. They're married. We have a lot of my HR director and my service manager. They're married. So we have a lot of family within our family of Heritage, and we just look at us as a big family.
Like I said, it's a family atmosphere more than anything. They truly do care for you in a personal sense, not just as an employee.
You could tell people watching one thing about Heritage's that they might not know, what would it be?
That they might not know. What would it be? The best subs in South Jersey. How's that?
All right.
And the people
I
that
can
shop in
second
our
that.
stores know that already.
Yeah.
And the people who discover our stores say, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I come here sooner?"
We believe, I love this one, we believe in having fun. That's probably one of my favorites. We believe positive people create a positive environment. It is competitive because our competition is not just Wawa, like you would think, or Cumberland Farms or 7-Eleven. I believe our competition is also Rite Aids and CVS and McDonald's and Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. We compete with all of them because they all do a lot of the things that we do. But the way I look at it is competition is good for you, because competition makes you stronger, and it makes you strive to do things better, and it gives you ideas. I go in and shop the competition all the time for ideas and things of how I can run my business better.
Pat firmly believes that all people are equal in the company, no matter of job title. She says, somebody working the register is just as important as her, the vice president, because they essentially both work together for the success and striving of the company. Overall, Heritage's is a family business that upholds family values and strives to provide you with outstanding service that you can count on. Judging by the down-to-earth nature of their vice president, it is clear that Heritage's is home.